If we read in Genesis chapter 2:24, the Bible says, and for this reason, for what reason? This was the first time God spoke. He says, for this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be united. For this reason, it means there is nothing else that should come before your marriage. Most of the times it is a disgrace, starting from us church folks. We realize that we respect our pastors more than our partners. When your pastor calls you, you drop everything that you are doing and you run. But when your wife needs your attention, this one, she's always troubling. How many times, wives, husbands, how many times do we sacrifice our personal lives when it comes to our bosses? When your boss says, I need you to work extra time, you see we've got this deadline and it's very urgent that we need to do. I need you to focus, I need you to help us. You even call your husband and give him the excuses to say, I won't be on time. But why is it that when a husband needs sex, you say, I've got a headache. Ladies, that private part does not get sick. Do not give that excuse. Because when you do that, someone will be busy waiting for your husband. Listen, the reason why God gave the woman to the man is because the Bible says he saw that man was lonely. Man needed companion. And one of the reasons that man fall in love is because he needs a companion. But why is it that today we've got more times for our friends, for our families, for our grandmothers, for our uncles than our spouses? You find a spouse is starving in his own house. A spouse cannot have access to sex when his own wife is there. So the Bible speaks of companionship. If your husband, if your partner is not receiving companionship, you know what they'll do? They'll go sit next door. Let me tell you, one of the things when we are getting married, we make vows to say, till death do us apart. Women, you understand that very clearly. But for a man, he understands till sex do us apart. One of the trigger in divorces is sex. When you sit down, the two of you, even though you don't enjoy the sport, sit down, keep on even asking. Call everyone Ronaldo in the soccer, even though you don't understand. Hey, Ronaldo is calling. Or what the guy is doing, he's enjoying your companion, he's enjoying your time. And the guy, you know what, whenever he knocks off, wherever he is, he's going to run to the house because he knows that, no, there's someone who's going to ask me about Ronaldo. Actually, we feel nice when you're explaining to your partner. You know, we are heroes to our own partner. That's what we should be. Most of the time, men and women, we are heroes to outsiders than in our own houses. If I've got a problem, you run for me. I'm stuck, man of God, come help me. I run. My wife, she's there. She's depressed. She needs someone to chat with, and no one is there. When I come back, immediately when I reach, no, there's no electric tree. This woman here, something is eating her up. Marriage is about dying. You need to sacrifice yourself. I love sleep, but for the sake of my marriage, I'll wake up and attend to my spouse. I love chatting with my friend, but for the sake of my marriage, now it's time with my spouse. Let me put my phone down. Most of the times when we are dating, when your phone rings, you drop the call. Sorry. But when you are married, you pick it. Hello? You even walk away. It's because when you are dating, you're prioritizing to this lady. You are prioritizing to this gentleman. But when you're married, why do you live like, if you want, stay, if you don't want, go? It's because there are certain fundamentals that you need to understand, and that once you miss them, wherever you are trying to do, it won't work. Marriage only works in the first place. There is no plan B. I wish there was a plan B, but there's no plan B in marriage. It's only plan A, and the two shall become one flesh.